My name is Elspeth Boynton, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Diive, a female-founded edtech company based in Cape Town. Now, I was born in the US, but I moved to South Africa in 2012 to follow my passion of bridging global communities. And after several years in the NGO space, I transitioned into leadership development consulting for EY. There, I worked with executives from across sectors who are really struggling to adapt to our rapidly evolving world that really requires an entirely new set of skills, knowledge, and mindset in order to lead. And this is where I met my co-founder, Anne. So we had both worked in education and bonded over a common challenge that we found important. We were both asking the same question: how do we ensure the next generation of leaders are prepared for an uncertain and complex future? And we both agreed that students require professional and personal development that goes way beyond what traditional educational systems offer, which is why we launched Diive. And Diive exists to create discovery spaces, giving young people agency to build the world in which we all want to live. And by agency, we mean the set of skills, the mindset, the capability that is necessary in order to navigate the fourth industrial revolution and really work and excel in our new normal. And at Diive, we're reimagining education, really prioritizing the development of empathetic, conscious, and purpose-driven youth. And our mission is to create a globally inclusive network of over 1 million youth who are empowered to integrate skills and purpose to bridge social, economic, and environmental divides. So how do we do this? Diive offers high-impact, integrated, cross-cultural learning experiences that combine tech, leadership development, purpose coaching, and global work experience to prepare students for the changing future. And we deliver these programs through internships that we offer both in January and in June, so both winter and summer sessions, as well as networking events and workshops. Now, our philosophy is to really uniquely focus on 21st century skills, so building students' technology capability, empathy, cultural competency, and innovation, while supporting them and connecting to their own sense of purpose and using that as a tool to drive their own careers and unlock and discover opportunity. So we have a lot of professional coaching, networking, and mentorship integrated into our programs. And once students go through a very intensive kind of consulting boot camp and leadership boot camp with us, they go work on real-world projects that matter with organizations that are very values-driven and purpose-aligned based in South Africa. And those projects, they work in teams from around the world. We recruit from so many different universities, including Harvard, Oxford, St. Andrews in Scotland, University of Cape Town, Ashesi University in Ghana, as well as some smaller colleges as well. And students from the ages of 18 to 25 are eligible to join Diive. And normally we have students from numerous countries, over 20 countries represented in each of our programs. And these students join global teams, they interact, and they're given a mentor, and they have to go in a couple of weeks to solve this business challenge. And this business challenge could be in the fintech space, it could be a retail project, or it could focus on biotech or even VC funding. And these are small organizations that we partner with, small startups, all the way to large global corporates. And really our programs focus on immersive learning and growth, personally and professionally. So some highlights of our program from this past summer: we ran a program that was virtual due to COVID, and we hosted our largest and most diverse cohort yet, with 84 students that the welcome guest named Tobogos Sikomwambane, who's a partner at McKinsey, or was a partner at McKinsey in South Africa for many years as a strategy and management consultant. She has worked extensively enhancing entrepreneurial ecosystems across Africa and accelerating growth of SMEs, businesses, and entrepreneurial activity on the continent. She's co-founded numerous organizations, including North Road Consulting, and has been focusing on growth strategies, operational turnaround strategies, and performance improvement. And what we love about her is she is selected as a World Economic Forum and a Youth Global Leader, as well as a fellow of the African Leadership Initiative and Aspen Global Leaders. So she, Tobogos, kicked off the program, inspired our young graduates and students that were joining Diive, and really kicked off the week of intensive learning in the consulting space. Students then spent an entire week virtually learning online, working in teams, doing personal reflections, and learning about consulting, the opportunities of consulting, working in virtual business teams, as well as kind of the formulas, the frameworks of strategy management and business consulting. And that was facilitated by our network of BCG, EY, McKinsey, Deloitte, and Bain consultants. And we had a lot of guest speakers and business leaders also come in and speak about things like behavioral economics and process improvement of organizations. So the other highlight that we had that students just love on our programs when they intern is the purpose workshop. And we do purpose coaching throughout the program, but we really start our program with purpose. So discovering your personal purpose is part of day one, going through a really reflective journaling exercise and unpacking what your personal purpose is, and then using that and understanding that as a tool for career development. And the purpose workshop, the follow-up one that we host in the middle of the program, is really a check-in to understand, where do you think you're going? What are you learning here at Diive that's going to help you build the career and the impact that you want to have in this role? And what challenge do you really want to solve? And that was held by Lee Maynard, and she's a wonderful collaborator and partner of Diive, and she launched her own educational business at a very young age called Diive University, which is an incredible university based in South Africa. So very lucky for her to lead our students through that process. And then I think the biggest highlight for us was the projects and the students' impact they had on the clients based in Cape Town. So over 5 weeks, students worked in those teams. They tackled challenges from the small startups to the large global companies with the skills they learned in the first week of the program. Interns developed financial lending products for female entrepreneurs across sub-Saharan Africa. They built a waste reduction strategy for one of the largest retailers in South Africa, and they tackled systemic problems in the country's education system, evaluating and testing a new online and affordable high school, just to name a few. So very, very cool projects that had real impact. And the students, after their 5-week internship, were able to present to executive boards. And a lot of these organizations have taken the recommendations forward into their product development, into their long-term strategy, or they're testing the approaches that the students have built already in the way that they interact with their customers and their partners. And so we're just very excited to hear about that positive impact that our students have already had. And the students all got recommendation letters from their clients, so they can use that as part of their job hunt and job search post-Diive, as well as they have access to our entire global network of thought leaders, business leaders, consultants, entrepreneurs, partners, and students themselves, leaders in their own right around the world. And why should African students and graduates consider virtual internships as a game changer for them? That's a great question. Virtual internships are hard. Yes, we're all living in this new normal where we need to find ways to connect empathetically with each other and collaborate and innovate in a time where it's exceptionally necessary. And we have found that through Diive, we've been able to create psychologically safe, stimulating, immersive virtual spaces where students love joining in online with us. They build really long-lasting friendships and networks through the online learning. And, virtual space has really opened up doors. It's made our program so much more accessible. You can log into Diive and connect from anywhere in the world that has an internet connection. And it allows for some flexibility for students that need to take a class, or they have a job alongside their Diive work. So it's really enabled us to bring students from 21 different time zones into one space at one time. So the diversity is very, very high. The online learning is extremely engaging, and the ability to be flexible has really helped students who need to have jobs or studies on the side. So we've actually found that virtual internships are great, and they give you so much more opportunity than having to try and find a physical location, a place to stay, and really learn a new work environment. You can just log on from anywhere you want, and makes it so much easier. So I really recommend virtual internships for students, as long as that they are structured appropriately. They can be extremely impactful, and a lot of our students build networks, get job referrals, get hired by our internship partners, or network with students and start businesses and organizations after Diive just by meeting online in our virtual space. And how was your experience working with a Boto University graduate on the Diive program? That's also a great question. We had the privilege and pleasure of working with Gloria Jackson, who's a Boto student. And I remember her interview with us, and she said that she has a bit of a hectic home life, and she has a side hustle and a business, and can she do Diive? And I said, well, if you're ready to commit and you think you can manage your time, we want to have you, because that's actually the student we want. We want students that are ambitious, they are entrepreneurial, they're innovative, and they're able to juggle many different things in their life, because that's really how the future is moving. Working in the gig economy, being a contractor, juggling multiple responsibilities at once is something that is such a great skill. So we welcomed Gloria with open arms. And from her experience, she said that the self-discovery and improvement were the most impactful for her, that she learned formulas for success that are applicable for any career field, and that in 3 words, she would describe her Diive experience as growth, personally and professionally, access to a global community of leaders from around the world, and passion. She gained passion for innovation and for driving her own impact. And Gloria had such a lucky experience. I mean, she worked with an incredible internship partner called Retail Capital. They are a fintech and retail company based in Cape Town, and they were trying to understand the challenges of the broader SME ecosystem, particularly around the nature of funding female entrepreneurs in the local context. And they were looking at a funding platform and trying to explore and identify needs and pain points of female entrepreneurs in particular to inform the development of their new platform exclusively for the female entrepreneurs. So this involved research and business discovery, a lot of interviews with female entrepreneurs, a future visioning workshop of what this platform could look like and how it could be unique across sub-Saharan Africa, as well as prototypes and final recommendations for how the product would be launched. And this team presented in front of the executive team at Retail Capital, and the senior leadership was so impressed by the impact that Gloria and her team had. They were exceptionally high standard and very, very, very incredible kind of platform framework design that they delivered. And at the end of the day, they received a really glowing recommendation from Retail Capital, and an incredible kind of structuring document to use as a minimal viable product for creating and launching their female entrepreneur platform. So that was really exciting. And I had the privilege and pleasure of Gloria being one of my mentees throughout the program, and being able to speak with her, check in with her throughout the program. And I just always admired her courage and her grit and her ability to work hard. And, I love watching her learn throughout the program. So that was really special. And she had the privilege to work with students from all the way from California to the East Coast to Greece, and students and one student even farther away. So she was able to work with students from all over the world, and some of the students came from Penn University, some from Boston College, and some from Richmond University as well. So a very diverse team that she got to work with Greek and American students. So it was wonderful, and I really loved Gloria and would love to have more Boto students on the Diive program, as I was very impressed by her ability to deliver and her ability to innovate this summer. And why should students at Boto apply to Diive? Well, a couple of reasons why Boto University students should apply to Diive. We're really looking for students who want to elevate their employability as well as their ability to solve problems. And we at Diive focus on equipping you with the key set of capabilities and skills necessary to lead in a post-COVID world. We're also looking for students that want to define their career direction in an era of constant change. So really facilitating your growth by helping you identify your personal purpose and using that as a tool to create your future career direction. And really, for students who want to gain invaluable consulting experience in project work, so we put students on projects that matter, projects that have impact, that they focus on generating shared value for stakeholders and ensuring sustainable solutions as well. So we're looking for students that are entrepreneurial or interested in innovating, they want to problem solve, and they want to work for clients and, learn how consultants work and solve problems in teams. And then finally, I think the global network for us is a major importance. And I think for students, especially African students that want more global exposure, they want to meet students from all over the world, build their networks to really work in the global economy, then Diive is a great option for you, and really would encourage you to apply. Thanks.
Who's Gloria? Well, Gloria was born and raised in Gaborone, Botswana. I did my primary schooling here in Botswana and then completed my high school in South Africa. Upon completing my high school, I took a gap year, which went longer than a year. And fortunate enough, I was able to travel to America during that time. Upon returning from America, I enrolled at Botha University, where I completed my studies and got a bachelor's degree, in computing, specialized in software engineering. I've always been an active person throughout my schooling journey, especially in primary and high school. I was involved in sports and community activities, such as in primary, I was an athlete. I ran 100 and 200 meters. And then in high school, I still continued my athletic journey, but this time around, I ran 400-meter hurdles, and I represented my school both regionally and provincially. And I also started an organization, if I may call it that, where we did an activity where we introduced new students or helped them transition well into their new environment, and we called it a buddies activity. I also worked at the school tech shop as a volunteer. I was also part of the Junior Achievement South Africa, where we learned the basics of entrepreneurship. And also, I was a prefect. So that didn't end. When I came into university or enrolled into university, I continued with my community activities, where I was part of the Botha Community Outreach Club, where I was the secretary, and a year later I became the club president. And then I was also part of the ushering department. I worked with the library department and also took part in the links competitions. So I would say that's me in a nutshell. That is who Gloria is. Well, apart from learning or wanting to learn more about what consultancy was about and what it entailed, I was intrigued on the fact that the Diive program kind of provided a platform where one could learn and acquire knowledge on a more flexible and a new environment that I was not accustomed to, or one that I had never experienced. So it cultivated or cultured a way that a person should be innovative, a person should think outside the box and not and challenge the norm, basically. So that was one of the reasons why I was attracted to this program and wanted to take part in it. My experience, wow, it was quite a very fun, tiring, educative, interesting journey. And one of the highlights that I enjoyed or remember, and it caught my attention, was the seminars that we had with the different specialists from different industries, especially from companies such as EY, McKinley and Company, where they taught us different aspects of business, not just centered around consultancy, but business as a whole. For example, we were taught how to learn and work in agile teams, as well as the psychological safety of a workplace. And the other one was the fact that I got to work with quite a diverse group of individuals. You know, my team, for example, was made out of individuals who were from Ghana, Greece, China, the USA. So I've got friends around the world because of this program. And also the community that the Diive program introduced me to, because we were about 85 participants from all around the world. And we had a way to connect with each other. We had community events such as speed dating. Who knew you could speed date virtually? So it was really a great environment where I have created lifelong friends around the world, where we also got to work with actual companies. Like, the beauty about the program is we're working with actual companies that were solving actual problems, challenges that they were trying to provide solutions to. And we had the honor to be able to contribute to those solutions. So the next time I get to see that solution, I know that I played a part in making somebody's life better. So that is what, that was one of the major highlights that I enjoyed about taking part in this internship. What I would say with virtual internships is that they don't necessarily take away from a physical internship. But the beauty about a virtual internship is that it gives you a more global platform as compared to a physical internship. Where physical internship, you are literally limited to your field of contact, whereas a virtual internship, you can connect with anybody around the world at any time. And a virtual internship, like I said, it doesn't take away from the physical. You still have the same responsibility. You still have to report to your mentor. You still have to make sure that you meet the deadlines for every project that you're given. You still have to work with a team or as a team. So virtual internships, as much as they give you flexibility, they also help you grow your soft skills. You know, you learn how to manage your time. You learn how to be accountable. You learn how to be able to be proactive when you're facing different challenges without necessarily having somebody to give you a solution right there. So virtual internships are key. They are still as effective as a physical internship, or even more, looking at how we're dealing with the new normal. So with a virtual internship, you're getting more than you would physically. Well, my plans is to always keep growing and to share the knowledge that I have in making a difference in the next person's life. The Diive internship program has actually enriched me in a way that I am now in a greater level than where I was when I started. The experience has enriched me both personally and professionally, and also educationally. So I'm able to come with 3 different aspects into one organization and make a much more bigger impact than I would have had I not joined the Diive internship. And also, it has made me, I would say, a person of interest. You know, I have both the virtual experience and the physical experience of internship. So I'm bringing those together to whatever organization that I am taking part in. And that on its own makes me to stand out as a future employee or employer, or to any job that I decide to apply for. The internship on its own makes me a person of interest and a person to look out for.